Hi! If you're tired of clicking through Proxmox for every single virtual machine, this video is for you. Now imagine if every virtual machine could be ready to go the moment it starts with the right hostname, user, SSH keys and network settings already in place. That's where Cloud-Init comes in. It takes care of all that automatically. That's right, it means that you don't have to go through the creation wizard each time. You can simply replicate a machine and it will spin up as though it's a new machine with its own MAC address. All the updates installed and all the configuration taken care of. Once Cloud-Init is in place, you can stack automation on top. Bootstrap Kubernetes nodes, hand off configuration to Ansible, manage life cycles with Terraform, or maybe orchestrate it all from CI/CD. So let's jump straight into it. Let's navigate to Proxmox and create a virtual machine. I'm going to use this VM as a template, so I'm allocating minimal resources for now. We can increase it later. So, in the top right corner, click Create VM. In the General tab, choose VM ID. Please make sure that VM ID is unique. Choose some name. For me, I will call it Ubuntu Cloud-Init. Click Next. In the OS tab, choose Do not use any media. Under the System tab, set the machine type to qemu certified. Change the BIOS to UEFI and set UEFI storage to local LVM. This probably will be different for you depending how you have your Proxmox setup. Make sure to enable qemu agent. Then click on Next. Now in the Disk tab, remove the default disk from the left side panel as we will be attaching separate disk manually. Moving on the CPU tab, no changes are needed, so let's click on Next. In the Memory tab, I will reduce the memory allocation to 1 GB. Then continue for the Network tab, leave everything as is and just proceed. Finally, in the Review section, make sure that Start After Created checkbox is disabled and then click on Finish button. Once the VM is created, we will go to Hardware section and remove the CD or DVD drive, as we don't need it. I will also add Cloud-Init drive by clicking on Add, then select Cloud-Init drive. Here we need to set storage to local LVM as well and add it. We will configure Cloud-Init later. At this moment, there is no disk available to boot from, so we need to download the Cloud image. Cloud image is pre-made virtual machine disk that is ready to use and designed to be automatically set up using Cloud-Init when it starts. Let's use an Ubuntu Cloud image. I will head over to Google and search for Ubuntu Cloud images. Let's open the official Ubuntu website. Here are all the versions which are available. I prefer to use the latest LTS version, so let's click on Ubuntu Server 24.04. On this page, just open the current directory. Here we have a list for all the different types of disk formats. For Proxmox, we need an image which the description contains qemu2, UEFI GPT bootable disk. This is qemu disk image format, and also please make sure that the image name contains AMD64. To download, just right click and copy the link address. Now let's head back to Proxmox. Select the node, open the shell and type wget. Then right click and paste the copied link. Press enter and wait for the download to complete. Then type ls to verify if the image is downloaded. For Proxmox, we need qemu2 format, but this file has image format. We can simply rename the file now. If you type ls, you can see the new file format and new name. Now we have to set the disk size. So let's type qemu image resize, followed by the file name and then the disk size. I will just set it to 40 GB. Just press enter to apply the changes. Next, we need to attach the disk to the VM. So I will run the command qm import disk followed by the VM ID, then file name and mention where you want to store it. In my case, it will be local LVM. Then just press enter. This will attach the disk to the VM, and next we need to add serial port to the VM to access its terminal. To do that, execute this command. Before executing, be sure to replace the VM ID and then press enter. Don't worry, I will include all the commands in the description below so you can just copy and paste it. Select the virtual machine and navigate to hardware. Here you will find a disk which is attached to this virtual machine, but it's showing as unused disk. Select the disk and click on edit. If you are using SSD, then enable discard and SSD emulation. Once done, click add. You can see that hard disk has been successfully added. Now let's navigate to options and edit the boot order. Here I will disable the network and enable the disk. Then click OK, and this will allow the VM to boot from the disk instead of the network. Now select the VM, right click on it and convert it to template. Once the template is ready, we can configure the Cloud-Init. Let's navigate to the Cloud-Init tab. Cloud-Init is a tool that automatically sets up new virtual machine with configuration like hostname, username or networking. Best part is Proxmox lets you configure those Cloud-Init settings right from the UI. I will start with username and put DevOps here. Let me do the same for password and SSH public key. You can even add multiple keys if needed or change these settings later. I will also update the IP configuration. Usually we assign a static IP to each VM so that we can easily connect it with SSH. However, since I'll be using this VM as a template, I'm setting it to DHCP for now. Don't forget to click on regenerate image. Now let's create a new virtual machine from this template. Select the template, right click on it and click on clone. Set a VM ID, give it a name and click clone. Once the virtual machine is created, select it and go to console. Click start now. It will take some time to configure everything. Now let's start VM by clicking on start now, and VM will directly start without any OS installation process. Even if virtual machine starts, wait for some time for Cloud-Init to apply its configuration. One of the key benefits of using Cloud-Init is that it updates virtual machine every time we start it. So you always have the latest configuration applied. Once the SSH key is displayed, we can just log in using our username, DevOps and password and check the IP address using IPA. Now we can connect this virtual machine with SSH. To connect with SSH, we need SSH client. I use Mobile Extern, but you can use Windows CMD, or if you are on Mac or Linux, just fire up the terminal. Since the SSH key was already added, we can connect without entering a password. As you can see, we are successfully connected to this virtual machine through SSH. I like to make few adjustments with my virtual machine, so I will install a qemu guest agent as it helps the system detect virtual machine's IP address and other details. Okay, qemu agent is installed right now, but there is no guest IP address visible in Proxmox UI. That's because we need to reboot the virtual machine first, so just do it. It needs some time to load everything up, so I will just speed up this part, and now we can see the IP address is visible inside Proxmox UI. That's all for this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button, subscribe and drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'm also launching a Discord channel, so feel free to join and be part of the community. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.